know a lot of people have questions of where does dirty water come from, why does it happen, and how can we stop to prevent it? Well, for the solution, it's a pretty simple one. But first, let me give you the definition of what dirty water is and what can it cause. Dirty water, or more specifically, waterborne disease, are a type of seizure that people get when it rains or the tsunami or any type of natural disaster you might have encountered or at least seen on the news. But the big question is, what are waterborne disease? Waterborne disease are poor hygiene saturating that wherever rain or tsunami comes, those water that you normally expect to swamp are called waterborne disease because those diseases can carry out near the swamp of the typone of where the swamps and other kind of lakes or rivers can contaminate with them. So that's why a lot of people, at least in different countries, suffer from poor hygiene water disease and lack of water clean access. Niger is probably a perfect example of this because due to the fact that 56% of the population over there do not have access to it, while only 48% have access to it and the other are just blank. So that's why it's a serious issue for different countries for demand for water community-based solution to come up on how to resolve the economic problems. There are multiple solutions for what's causing all this problem. The most recent example is a CO2 called CO2 inferential, which reduces the stomach and oxygen that cause many of the water disease to disappear, which can help produce the production of fresh waters and contaminate with them. Another is base water solution, which has people building a capacity with no extra cost by reducing the water. That way, the people in different regions can have access to it. Even some of the biggest ones like Los Angeles, New York, or any other place you can think about. The reason I'm talking about this is because a lot of people have been assuming me that this stuff doesn't matter and we should focus on more pointless and astronomical stuff like gun violence or dis or discrimination against certain minority, which is definitely a problem, but there's not a big problem for a solution like gun violence and have morons like David Hogg contaminated even though he's one of the party on why all these crimes are committed. That's why there is no faith in God for everyone else to condemn me on how these solutions will be solved. That's why I'm asking you people who are listening to not follow any of the big influencers around these political politics around these people. Because if you continue to listen to them, you'll only feel more problem into this environment than it already is. However, if you listen to people who might provide some controversial viewpoint but understand the situation much more than many other people can, then you will likely create a much more beneficial and positive effect and can possibly even make the environment that we are living in much better.